Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and stay tuned by clicking the bell icon. Tracy's dinner with Gregory leaves her with questions for Alexis, and, spoiler, suffers a health crisis in Pentonville. Monday, July 31, 2023. Today on General Hospital, Alexis gives Molly advice about Christina. Christina turns to Michael for business help, and Sunny and Anna confide in one another. In the elevator at the Metro Court, Sunny phones someone to find out information on the late Gordon Stevens for him. He exits the elevator and joins Anna out on the terrace. Sunny's glad to see Anna's gotten out of the house, and she says she was tired of hiding. Sunny is shocked Valentin hasn't home yet given the danger to her from the WSB, but Anna says she doesn't need him to protect her. She also doesn't believe it's the WSB who is out for her. She thinks it could be a rogue agent or someone whose family was hurt by her past actions. Sunny hates what Victor did to her, but one benefit is they aren't on opposite sides anymore, and they don't have to pretend they aren't friends. Anna jokes, "I never pretended." She admits while her job was to bring him to justice, she admired how he was able to always get away with his criminal activities. Anna notes as an agent, she didn't have the luxury of liking the person she was trying to take down, and she couldn't comprise herself with him like she did early on in her career. However, she never turned a blind eye to him or his organization. Sunny recalls that she came after him hard when she was police commissioner. Sunny ponders it might not have been Victor who released her records to the world and notes she was a good agent. So maybe another jealous agent trying to shut her out. She has no way of knowing and reminds him the bullet could have been meant for him. Sunny admits it's crossed his mind as he's been working with a high-power security firm called Pikeman. Anna knows them and warns him to have nothing to do with them. Gregory boards the elevator and Tracy shouts for it to be held and hops on board. He says, "You're welcome." Tracy snarks she didn't expect him to be thanked for a basic courtesy. Tracy answers her phone and it's Monica, canceling their dinner because of a medical emergency. Tracy says it always is an emergency with her and she'll see her at home. The doors open and they step off. The hostess sees Gregory with Tracy and asks, "Table for two?" She says no, but Gregory knows her date is canceled, so she should join him. She agrees, and they are seated. Over dinner, Gregory tells her a story about his teaching days and having to take his friend's dog to class with him, which he forgot to walk beforehand. He was upstaged by the pooch, who relieved himself in the middle of his class. Tracy gets a laugh out of his story. Later, when the waitress arrives with the bill, Gregory insists on paying when Tracy suggests separate checks. He notes invited her and says next time she can grab the check. She quips, "Who said there will be a next time?" Suddenly Gregory gets a hand tremble, and she asks if he's okay. He calls it too many years of writing, and he has to run as he promised Alexis that he'd look over an article for her. He tries to rush out, but has to pause. Once alone, Tracy pulls out her phone. Felicia and Lucy chat in the lobby about what happened with Sasha and Cody. Lucy notes Sasha was doing so well. Her meltdown could have tanked deception, but thankfully, they have the deceptor. However, she can't stop thinking about Martin being the inspiration for the deceptor, that he's getting alimony from his third wife, and what else he could be hiding. Lucy suddenly realizes they only have Marty's word that his ex-wife is greedy and horrible. But what if it's Marty who is greedy? Perhaps that's why he won't marry her, as he'd lose all that money. Suddenly Martin walks in and exclaims, "Two of my favorite ladies, it must be my lucky night." He asks if he can join them. Lucy says she was just singing his praises about the deceptor, and how he was the inspiration. Martin reminds her it was all her idea, and changes the subject to where they went on their trip. Lucy and Felicia claim they went to a spa in Landview. Felicia realizes it's getting late, and she needs to go relieve Mac of his babysitting duties. She rushes off and Martin asks if Felicia is okay. Lucy changes the subject and asks if he's checked in with his mother. Martin just spoke with her today, and she's as vivacious as ever. Lucy's glad his mom is being taken care of at the retirement home, and she can't help but think about all his financial burdens, including his ex-wives. Martin says his third wife is the worst of them, but he manages for his mother. He comments that it's not as if Christina asks Michael why he's being such a bastard to Nina. He wonders why she's always so nice to her. She says she knows their family was hurt by Nina, but she and their dad are engaged now. Christina thinks he should drop the grudge and give Nina a chance. She suggests he do it for Willow. Michael says whatever Willow decides he'll support. Christina calls that a classic Michael move, not agreeing to drop his grudge and only agreeing to support Willow, keeping his options open. She says she'd love to know how to do that, as she wears her heart on her sleeve. He praises that quality, but she says it doesn't always get the job done. They sit down, and Christina tells him about her shelter project, all that goes into it, and what she needs to learn to pull it off. She's realizing how in over her head she is. He asks how he can help. She'd like him to be on her board of directors, but she knows he's very busy as well. However, he's the smartest person she knows. He accepts, and she's thrilled. She still worries she'll make a huge mess out of this, and it will all fall apart. Christina doesn't want to fail and let their dad down after he gave her such a terrific start. Michael says she underestimates their dad, and he wouldn't invest in her if he thought she'd fail. He suggests she reach out to him if she needs help. She says it's annoying how he is always right, and can see he still loves Dad if he has this much faith in him. Michael hugs her and then says he needs to get back to work. She thanks him before leaving. Alexis visits Molly at home. Molly wishes she could go back to work, but Alexis thinks she needs to take a minute to rest. Molly says Sam and Christina have already been by, and she shows her the toy Christina brought her. Alexis remembers how Christina adored the stuffed pony, and she took it everywhere when she was little. Alexis feels like it was only a second ago she was her little girl. Now she's grown up and a lawyer. Molly admits she may be grown, but she still needs her mom. Talk turns to her and TJ wanting to be parents still, and they have discussed their options. She says with her eggs not viable, IVF is out, and she can't help but think Christina as their surrogate might be their best shot. Alexis knows there is a lot to think about with Christina's offer, which didn't come out the right way. Molly knows she was angry at first, but thinking about it, the baby would be a part of her too, and they know Christina's habits and lifestyle already. Alexis feels like she's trying to talk herself into this. Molly believes Christina checks all the right boxes. Molly asks her mother to help her weigh the options as a former lawyer. Alexis says a big minus in her sister's column would be Christina having a relationship with this baby forever, which isn't the case with most surrogates. Molly knows Christina is already a great aunt, but Alexis says she'd be the baby's biological mother. That could cause trouble down the line for them, and nobody knows if Christina can detach and only be the aunt. She says this would be a huge commitment for Christina. Molly thanks her for the different perspective, and she and TJ will have to consider this. Later, Alexis heads out, and in the hall sees Tracy calling her. Tracy says she just had dinner with Gregory and asks if there is something wrong with his health. In the library at Pentonville, Book attacks Cyrus, who was reading his Bible. Book taunts no one is around to help him, not even his God can help him. Drew enters and says he's around and orders Book away from Cyrus. Book tells Drew to walk away, and if he gets involved then he'll pay the price. Cyrus begins to grab his chest, as Book tells Cyrus he has no more allies or power here, and calls him a weak old man. Drew grabs Book and smashes his head on a nearby table, knocking him out. Drew asks Cyrus, who is wheezing, if this guy has allies. Cyrus confirms he does, powerful ones. Drew thinks he needs to get Cyrus to the infirmary. Suddenly Book gets up and pulls a shiv out of his sock and charges them. Drew beats Book off with Cyrus' Bible, and the guards come in, grab Drew and Book, and order solitary for both of them. Suddenly Cyrus collapses and is pale. Book yells not to fall for his act, but Drew thinks he's having a heart attack, and begs the guard to let him use his military training to help him. The one guard allows Drew to check on Cyrus. Drew asks the guards to call the infirmary as he instructs Cyrus to take deep breaths. Drew tells Cyrus to stay with him, but Cyrus begins to see the light. On the next General Hospital, Anna asks Sonny how involved he is. Carly accuses Ava of being up to her old tricks. Dainty asks Anna what if Sonny's theory is right. Christina turns Sonny down. Drew urges Cyrus to stay with him. If you like the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share.